Hi, welcome to the Danville Public Library. I'm Nancy, and this week we're talking about St. Patrick's Day, leprechauns, rainbows, pot of gold, all those kind of good things. And today I'm going to do a little steam experiment, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a rainbow in a glass. Now, I have these little plastic cups that I'm using, but if you had a test tube, you could put it in a test tube. If you have little glass jars, those would work. You need something clear so you can see your rainbow. The other things that you're going to need are sugar, water, any kind of water will do just fine. I'm going to try and do it with 6 colors, but you can do it with 4. And it's any kind of color that what you want to do, but you're going to see I'm going to try and actually create a rainbow. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to pour water into however many colors you decided to do. So I am going to do 6, so I'm just putting a little water in. And then the next thing that we're going to do is add sugar. Now, the way this is going to work is with something called density, and density is how much is like packed inside something, how compressed something is in something. And so the way that we're going to increase the density is by how much sugar we put in each cup. So in the first cup, I'm just going to do 1 teaspoon. So this one is not going to be very dense. But then the next one, I'm going to add another one. So here's 1, and I'm going to add another one to that one. So we're going to have 2. So 2 in that one. And I'm going to kind of line these up so I know exactly which one is which. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, so here's 1, 2, 3. Now what you could do to help kind of keep track of what it is you could kind of like mark a little space, like this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Okay, so that's 3. This one's going to be 4. So that means I have to put 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I have room temperature water because if it's cold, it makes it very hard to get the sugar to dissolve. This one is number 5, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's a question or a hypothesis for you with this. I told you that I have room temperature, or like just like setting out water, not cold water, because it makes it harder to dissolve. What do you think would happen if the temperature was warmer? Do you think, and this is your question or your hypothesis, it would dissolve faster or easier, or it would be harder than the one at room temperature or the one that's cold? What do you think? Make a guess. What's your hypothesis? All right, this one's going to take 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to color these, and the way that I want to make sure is I want to make sure that I'm coloring each one of these a different color so that way I can see my layers. So just like the rainbow, the first one I'm going to put just a couple drops of red, and then the next one I'm going to make it orange, so I'm going to put 1 drop of red. And do you know what other color helps to make orange if you have these basic colors of red? Well, you need a little orange, so I'm going to put a little yellow for that. And then I'm going to do a yellow one, so I'm going to put a couple drops of yellow. And then I'm going to do green, so I'll put a couple drops of green. And then I'll do blue, so I'll put a couple drops of blue. And the last color is going to be purple, so I'm going to put a couple drops of blue. And what color do you think is the other color I need to make purple? What's your guess or hypothesis? Well, the answer is red. Red and blue make purple, so I'm going to put a couple drops of red. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir to make sure that my sugar is dissolved and my color is all the way through. So there's some red. And I'm just going to wipe my spoon off in between so I'm not mixing my colors. I'll stir. It's important that the sugar is dissolved because we're trying to make the water more dense with the sugar solution, which is when we're mixing two things. We're mixing sugar and water, and that's a solution. And then I'm going to mix the yellow. Now here's a little hint. In case you didn't guess earlier, the warmer the water, the more faster or the easier it will be to get the sugar to dissolve. So that's like when you have a cup of hot tea and you put sugar in, it melts right away. But if you have cold iced tea and you try and put sugar in, you can stir and stir and stir, especially if it has lots of ice in it, and all you still have is the sugar at the bottom. So stir a little bit more. I'm going to do some blue now. And you can kind of see, if you look at this, see how dense it is with all that sugar on the bottom because it hasn't mixed through? How it just sits on the bottom? I gotta stir this one a little bit more than the others because it's got a lot of sugar to mix in. And then the last one is our purple. And you can kind of see the idea of density here. You see all that sugar is very dense. It's sitting at the bottom. And then the water is not as dense and it's floating on the top. And the coloring is even less dense, so it's sitting at the very top. But I'm just going to mix that all in one big solution. Water, sugar, color. Let's mix it around. Mix it around. This one will take the longest because I have so much sugar. If you remember, there's 6 teaspoons of sugar in this water. Now when you're making it, you probably want to use more than a teaspoon because, especially if you're using jars or cups, because you'll have more water, so you need more sugar. Okay. The next thing that you're going to need is an eyedropper, a pipette, or a turkey baster works too. And this is very important. When I'm making my rainbow, I have to go from the most dense to the least dense. And the most dense is the one that has the most sugar in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little pipette here, or eyedropper, and I'm going to get that much in, and I'm just going to put that in the bottom of my cup. And I'm going to do 2 of them just so that I can kind of see it. So that's 1, and there's 2. Okay, so there's purple. Now, this is when it gets fun and kind of tricky. Now remember, this is science, and science is about learning. And when we make mistakes, that's all part of learning. And this experiment could work 100 times and be perfect, or it could fail a bunch of times too. But I will just keep working at it, and you know what? You'll surprise yourself. You can make this work. So the next one I'm going to do is the blue. And I'm going to stir that a little because my sugar's not quite all dissolved in there. So I'm going to stir it just a little bit more. And then remember, we're going to do 2 of these. So here's one. Now here's the thing. When you're adding your colors, which I'm going to move this to the side so you can see. When you're adding your colors, you're going to slowly add it. And what you want to do is squeeze it so that it goes along the side of the cup. And there's one. And again, I'm drizzling it slowly on the side of the cup. Do you remember what color comes next in the rainbow? So I have purple and I have blue. What color do you think is next? Well, the next color is green. And again, I'm going to stir it just a little bit because you see how that sugar is. It's still a little bit on the bottom. So I'm just going to stir and make sure that that sugar is all dissolved in there. What you could do is have an adult put hot water and mix the sugar in first and then just wait for it to cool and then you can use it. So I'm going to take the green and I'm going to put it on the side and let it run down slowly into the cup. Okay. And then the next color, what do you think the next color is? The next color is yellow. I'm going to stir it again just to kind of make sure that my sugar is mixed in there. I love the colors of the rainbow because there's so many pretty colors. But maybe you only want 3 colors in your rainbow, or maybe you want to try it with just 2 colors. The idea is the sugar and the density. So you want to make sure that you're going from most dense to the least or smallest amount of density. And then I'm just going to kind of add it slowly to the side of the put a little bit more in there. It's kind of fun. If you look down in the glass while you're doing it, you could really see the layers of color as they So down here it's really dark where I put the purple, and then it gets lighter into the blue and lighter into the yellow, and as we keep working it's going to get lighter and lighter as we go from most dense to least dense. Now this one I don't have to mix quite as much because there's not nearly as much sugar in there. So we're going to add a little orange now to our cup. So again, slowly on the side, I'm just going to add a little bit of orange. Oops. Do you have a favorite color? I have a hard time choosing sometimes because there's so many neat qualities about all the different colors and so many fun things. Have you ever played I Spy, where you find colors where you live? Like right now, what's orange in your house? Do you have oranges? Do you have orange colored flowers? Do you have your favorite orange shirt? What's orange at your house? I'm just slowly adding some orange. All right. And then the last color is, do you remember? Can you guess what's your hypothesis? It's red. Bright, beautiful red. I'm going to stir this, but really, I don't need to because there's only 1 teaspoon of sugar in this one. And I'm just going to take a little bit up and I'm going to slowly add it to my colors. How about red? Is red your favorite color? What do you like that's red? Do you like those cinnamon candies that are hot? Or maybe you have a favorite red shirt? Or red shoes? Now, it's kind of difficult to see, I know, but I'm going to turn on my flashlight and see if we can kind of see. If you look through the side with the flashlight, you can see the colors. Can you see it?
Yeah, the cup.
Maybe do that. I know, I'm just trying to.
I can't get that close down.
Maybe I'm trying to see where you can see it best with the light.
Oh, there. Yeah, put it back where you had it.
Right there?
Yeah, down a little more. Yeah, right in there. You can see different.
Isn't that awesome? Purple on the bottom, red on the top, just like a rainbow, all in the cup. So take a picture if you tried this and send it to us. We'd sure love to see your experiment. And you know, if your rainbow didn't end up like this the first time, it's okay. It's science. We're trying new things. We're learning new things, and we learn something every day. Go ahead and call us with all the reading that you're doing. We want you to win great prizes. I sure did have fun doing this. I hope you do too, and hope to see you soon. Bye.